Salutations, salutations, salute, salute. I hope everybody's safe, warm. It's real cold outside. Still some black ice on the floor. Everybody be on the point so you don't slip and fall. You know how that go. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is gonna be something that's I had to speak about. It's inevitable. A lot of people in the comments keep asking me. It's a very good question. And the question is, yo, big homie, why you ain't turn 1A trade? You from 1A third, why you ain't turn 1A trade? And it brought me back to a conversation, many a conversations that I had with my comrades on the block over the years, right? I'm gonna speak about one that happened maybe about a month ago, right? About a month and a half ago at the most. We was all on the block talking, we was chilling, chopping it up. And we was all me, J30, Naquan. It was a few of us. It was a few of us out there. Ron Nitty was out there. There's a few of us out there. We was just chopping it up. And we was all talking about situations that happened in jail or things that was going on, and talking about how, who was putting on for the hood when they was locked up, or who's putting on for the hood now and everything. And Nate was like, yo, I remember, man, I was on an island and I was locked up. I kept hearing this nigga name, yo, Mel Kross, Mel Kross, Mel Kross. And then a lot of people used to ask me, he was like, yo, I ain't gonna hold you, Mel. He was like, yo, I got into mad fights or arguments and everything because motherfuckers talking about I ain't from 1A third because I ain't know you. So when they talk about Mel Kross, they was like, yo, only one they could think of was Tom Kross. So they was like, Mel, who the fuck, yo? Mel. And then everybody keeps saying, if you don't know him, you from 1A third. Mel be putting on for 1A third, crazy. Everything that come on his mouth, 1A third this, 1A third that. Mad 1A third, people be hollering at him, reaching out to him and all that. He definitely from the hood, you know what I'm saying? OG Mack and all from the streets and all that. And then he like, damn, I gotta know this dude. So one day we went to court. And I seen him. And the first thing he said, like, oh, shit. And everybody said, like, yo, Mel Kross, yo. And we over there chopping up in the bullpens. He was in, because, when you first get off the bus, we all go in the same, going to the same big pen, because we all shackled up. Those that's not shackled up go in the regular pen, but those that shackled up with the mitts and everything on, they go in the same pen before we get separated to take the shackles and everything off. So we was on a block about a month and a half ago, and we was talking about that. And it's just so funny because I broke down to them why I never pushed 1A third. So this video right here is basically gonna be about, it's going down, it's chasing somebody. So this video is basically gonna be about why I never turned 1A third, or whatever I say, 1A trade gangster. Stay tuned to Kross TV Network. You already know. Thank you for tuning in to Kross TV Network. You already know that's Kross with a K. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I see how everybody loving the series. Everybody feeling that series that I'm putting out. I'm very thankful. And I'm blessed that a lot of people's really getting it and understanding, my purpose, which I will give, when the series is over, on why, I made the series and the importance of it, but I definitely appreciate and like how everybody gravitating towards it. And I definitely like majority of the comments that I've been getting, respectfully, but anyway, thank for y'all tuning in Kross TV Network. That's Kross with a K. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. I appreciate y'all. Definitely got a good one today. Definitely got a good one right now, man, because a lot of people, I know a lot of people are asking, yo, everything out Mel Kross mouth, Bronx, 183rd, 183rd this, 183rd that, 183rd this, boom, 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 boom. And even when he come home, he's still in his hood. So why didn't he turn 1A Trey? That's his neighborhood. He from 1A Trey. And then I looked at some of the comments. Some of the people was like, yo, ain't you related to Dizzy? So, and you from 183rd, so I'm curious, won't you make a video on why you never turned 1A Trey? All right, so I'm going to give you the story, right? It's more than just one reason why I didn't turn 1A Trey. First, let me explain something. Dizzy is my blood relative. The blood that's in his veins is the blood that's in my veins. Am I Panamanian? No. I'm not Panamanian. Dizzy is my cousin, my relative, through my father. My father and their mother is first cousins. That makes us second cousins, and the generations go down like that. That's how we're relatives. We're real relatives. Growing up, like I said, I'm originally from Hunts Point. I screamed 183rd and Crescent, and I screamed 180th Crescent and all. I screamed 183rd Grand, Davidson. I screamed all that, but my origins is Hunts Point. That's where I'm from. That's where we all from. My family that moved up here, my mother and them, they moved up here 5, 6 years old from Alabama. They came up here. My generation, we all born here. On my birth certificate is a Hunts Point address, which is still the address where we still got an apartment, that same apartment to this day. And growing up, Dizzy was in jail. Most of my life growing up as a kid, Dizzy was in jail most of the time. His brother, Silver Dollar, growing up, I looked up to Silver Dollar. He had all the big chains. He had his own chapter of Zulu right there on 176th University. They had a game room right there on 180th, between 180th and 181st and Grand Concourse. They had a little game room right there, selling smoke and everything. And that was one of my first introductions to the gang life, and I looked up to him as a big brother, that I never had really growing up, even though I had a brother from another mother. But, we didn't grow up together. He's not much older than me, so it wasn't much that he could really have taught me like Silver Dollar could have taught me. So I looked up to Silver Dollar. My mother and his sister, Valerie, may she rest in peace, always hung out a lot, So that's why I used to always, that's how I got to know Silver Dollar growing up, because he was much older than me. My cousin, that's David, and also little Dizzy, Bud, that's my little cousin, huge, he big, he a whole grown man, but that's baby boy. So going into the prison system, Dizzy already had a big name. This big, well, when I turned blood by a guy named Sunday. Sunday brought me home. Sunday's from the Bronx, over there on Tremont and Harrison Avenue. That's where Sunday's originally from. Sunday brought me home, 5'9" brim. So from that time, the end of the 9-5, beginning of the 9-6, when Sunday brought me home, 5'9" brim, you figure OG Mack was in the streets 2000, 2001. He got locked up 2001. So maybe like the end of the 9-9 to like April, May 2001. He got locked up, so he was home 18 months. So from, you want to say 9/5 to 2000, I was ready 5 years in, banging 5'9" brim. The case I caught, technically, it wasn't a straight case, a gangbanging case where I just killed Crips because I was a blood, and I just killed the Crip because, like I always told y'all, you know, I never had really no issue with no Crip, because when I turned blood, there was no Crips, you know, really out here or in the penitentiary. And what I became blood for wasn't because I had issue with Crips, it was because, you know, we took a united stand, you know, for our peoples that at the time started getting oppressed by the Latin Kings, the Yetas, and the La Familias. Similar the same way as Damu started over in the West Coast when all the Pyru sets got together, and then they formed an alliance, you know what I'm saying, with the Brims, you know what I'm saying, and it became a blood alliance. A lot of people mistaken some of them sets as blood and everything, but they their own thing. They just in a blood cult or under their alliance. Over here is different. Everything OG Mack made, whatever name is on it, we all blood over here. So that was my set, and all the work that I put in and everything was for 5'9". That was for that set. Even though I was from 183rd, you know, because, you know, we had a rule that when you rep your set, you bang hard, that when people mention your name, you want to be one of the first 5 names to be mentioned when your set is mentioned. So, you know, whatever that means to you, you know what I'm saying, you got to do whatever you do, you know what I'm saying, put on for your hood. You know what I'm saying? For me, I done caught a body in attempt, which I originally got locked up for. While I was on Rikers Island, I caught 5 more jail cases, going to war with the Latin Kings. So now that I got, you know, copped out to 20 flat, I copped out to that. A lot of people looked at me, thought I was crazy. They thought I was bugging. You know, a lot of people, they was like, yo, Mel, you bugged out, boy. You supposed to took that to trial. You supposed to did this. You supposed to did that. I know a guy, one of the homies that, you know, we had a fallout. You know what I'm saying? I had a fight with him in 5 Point, when 5 Point was open. He had a murder charge too. He had a body. And he had like 3 years in on the island at the time. He had maybe like 6 months in more than me at the time. I had met him in the Bronx house originally, and they offered him 5 years for the murder. Because they offered him 5 years, he refused to take that, thinking he gonna beat that. Took it to trial, got 25 to life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I took my time, knowing what I was doing, knowing that I did it and everything. I just took that time, whatever. Well, getting back on track. So when OG Mack came home, and all the stuff was being mentioned about whether he was a rat, what was going on with him, with his, you know what I mean? And then while he was out there, OG Mack, one of the dudes that raised me in the streets, you know what I'm saying? You know, one of the dudes that I looked up to as a kid. He was a few years older than me. You know, when you young, them couple of years is really a lot of years, you know what I'm saying? So he was very proud of, you know what I'm saying, what I was doing, how I was moving, you know what I'm saying, how I was, you know, brimming and, you know, doing what I was doing. So OG Mack is not only the one, he's the one that basically made me 101 of the island. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could say anything about that. The same person that gave everybody else their status and gave everybody else their positions in the certain sets, and how everybody went through him and got set sanctioned and everything, nobody could say nothing when he gave me 101 of the island. Nobody. You know, so it wasn't until all the stuff that was going on, because the way OG Mack wanted it was, he wanted me to turn Donald G. He wanted to give me everything in the penitentiary, and then he wanted to use me as a conduit to holler at everybody else. That's how me and SI got cool. Cause when me and SI got cool, because SI wrote me, started writing me, and he was like, yo, I heard a lot about you, Mel. I heard, and a lot of people from your neighborhood talking about, they know OG Mack, they in contact with OG Mack. So, but I heard, but every time I write an address, I don't get no response or whatever. But I heard you the one who really is the go-to person. So SI, may he rest in peace, was like, yo, write OG Mack, tell OG Mack to write me and tell him for what I know is him for sure. Tell him how we first met. That's something that me and him know. Me and him is the only two that know about that. And then, we build on putting everything back together, or whatever. But Mac responded and sent him the letter. So that's when, that's when SI was like, yeah, I got the letter. That's official. This, that, and the other. The next thing you know, OG Mack got arrested for the case that he's locked up for now. So that never got to materialize. But Mac wanted me to keep Donald G in the system for that purpose because I'm from 183rd. I'm putting on hard, without me being in my hood lineup, or whatever. I was one of the island, and a lot of the big homies, respectfully, that had hoods, that got hoods now, or, that's big homies and everything, coming up, was on the island when I was on the island, and was 101 when I was was on the island when I was 101. So to answer your question, one of the main reasons I didn't turn 1A Trey is because, yes, Dizzy is my cousin. That's my blood relative, right? But Dizzy already had a big reputation. He had a lot of things going on about him. Most of the stuff I heard was excellent, impeccable. But as years went by, I started hearing other things, some true, some not. I didn't want to be under his shadow as being, oh yeah, that's Dizzy little cousin, or that's this, that, and the other, or that's Mac Man, or whatever the case may be, or everybody got their status is because they from 183rd or whatever. Even though it makes sense if you putting on whatever, right? So that leads into I'm sorry about that, y'all. My eyes itching because I just rolled in the weed and everything. So some of the shit, it got my eyes, so it's burning my eye. So I'm sorry about that. But this would lead to the second part, because that would make all the sense. Yeah, well, you're supposed to be 1A Trey. But this is the second reason why I didn't turn 1A Trey. When you look at 1A Trey, you look at a 183rd dude. You look at a 183rd dude. We have a certain swag about us. You know what I'm saying? We have a certain dress about us. We have a certain way we carry ourselves and everything. Respectfully, at the time when 1A Trey was being built, respectfully, it ain't matched my image. I felt like an oddball being there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, outside of MK and Peachy, who was my comrades, I'm hearing that Peachy had passed away. I hope that's not true. He supposed to have passed away maybe a year or so ago. I hope that ain't true. But let me just say a moment of silence for Peachy just in case. Out of respect, MK brother. But then you had a lot of other dudes that was 1A Trey that it became like, I feel like a lot of ex-nietas and, you know what I'm saying, or whatever like that, end up becoming 1A Trey. The only official homies that I recognized that was 1A Trey at that time was Tupac. You had Jabba, Big Jabba. Was Jabba 1A Trey or he was non-Trey? I think Jabba was 1A Trey. You got the bro Moet, official tissue, Moet for the Bronx. Over there in Andrews University, he know my whole family. He know Dizzy, he know everybody. You know what I'm saying? Moet tore Moet the blast on his face, put in mad work. You know what I'm saying? Official, crazy hands and all that. Official. He was 1A Trey, Top Gun, but Top Gun ended up being a bug out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, from Queens, had mad love for. Still got mad love I got mad love for him. You know what I'm saying? But for Top Gun, but at the same token, I done built a bond with Jay Brim. I done brought La Brim home. I done brought Rampage home. I done brought all these people home. So it's like, how I'm just gonna abandon all these people when I'm just pick people with the whole person with me and everything like that, even though I ended up doing that later on with Outlaw 20, but was a whole different story. I still remain under the same banner. And at that time, it really didn't matter whether we was 1A Trey or Brim or nothing like that, because everything was under the UBN banner. There was no separation. There wasn't no, all right, you're going to be 1A Trey under the Donald G Nation and everything like how it is now. Everything was still under UBN. There was no separation. Brim and all that. Was no Outlaw. Was no Mack. You know what I'm saying? It was no Stones. It was no Apes. It wasn't. You know, it was all the original. Just the original 13. 13 sets. So I done built bonds with everybody. Plus, I got people like Geronimo. Shout out to the hat Geronimo. You know, Geronimo, he teaching me everything I need to know about hat, about Brim, you know, because at the time, he was right next door to OG Mack when they was in Comstock Box. Was it Comstock Box or Clinton Box? I think it was in Comstock Box. So and him and Hellraiser too. So everything that was new, that was coming up, I got everything. So it was like, I done built this bond. I done put all my work under Brim and everything. Everybody know where I'm from, so I'm putting on for 183rd regardless if I'm repping the set or the repping the hood, because, like I said, the identity and how the set was and what I was used to and me being from 183rd. And then another thing was like, these people not from 183rd. All these people got certain positions or certain thing, whatever it can be. It's nothing you can really tell me when it comes to 183rd as it will be a set, being that that's from my hood and I'm from that hood. So, and then another thing is that also the thing about me being Dizzy cousin was an issue too, was because Matt was just trying to just give me 1A Trey. Yo, here, take 1A Trey. 1A Trey is yours. You got it. That's yours. That's you. Ain't nobody else. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm like, damn, Dizzy's my cousin. So Matt just telling me, fuck him and just take it. So now I'm going to go into conflict. I'm going to fuck around going to conflict with my elderly relative over a set that I really don't want to even be in, because, you know, my heart is 183rd. When I move and everything, I'm repping I'm repping my neighborhood, but I'm doing it under this set. How I look at that now, if we would reverse it back when now to when OG Mack said, yo, Mel Kross, take 1A Trey, I would have took it with a heartbeat. I would have took it with a fucking heartbeat. And I'm going to tell you why I would have took it for a heartbeat before I conclude this video. For one, Dizzy is my relative. Regardless of what, we could have communicated and created an engine and created a real strong line, starting from the foundation with the family, knowing that the family was around you. You know what I'm saying? Me and Diz wasn't really writing each other or really in contact with each other like that, because like I said, we really rarely knew each other, because Dizzy's much older than me and he was in prison most of his life before I even started coming to jail. And then I ended up doing a long time, and we was never really together like that. You know, so that'd have been a good way for us to build, you know, got to know each other and build something great. Maybe I could have stopped him from doing or making some of the mistakes that he made, being that you had some strong people that wasn't followers, not that was in his corner, especially his blood relatives. Ultimately, I would have accepted, because when you look at life, a lot of people, when they was coming through from 183rd. Once I knew they was from the hood and they was from 183rd, I made sure they was good, they was right. They didn't have to get tested on how they was this or this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? It's the new times, the new age, a whole lot of gang thing going out there. If they ain't affiliated, they ain't banging, I'm going to make sure they good, they going to be safe. Because you know why? When I go back in my hood, when I go back to my community, when I get home, these are the people that I'm going to see. These are the faces that I'm going to see again. I'm going to have to deal with that, whether it's a high bow or tough love, or people feel some type of way, we go to the guns, or just trying to give me a bad rep and causing a whole nother situation. I made sure all mine was good. You know, but I lost my train of thought for a second. But you know what I'm saying? I took care of my hood. But taking care of your hood, too, is uniting your hood, being active in your hood, in your community. So with that being said, we had a vision. We was going to make 1A Trey from Fordham to Burnside, from Webster to Cedar, 1A Trey territory. And I wasn't with it because, like I said, I was on my brim thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm blind by everything that's going on. And as you seen in the series, I'm just being stabbed in the back, left and right. A lot of things going on, being held dry and everything, whatever. If I'd have knew that my loyalty and all the sacrifices I made under brim would have went with the way it went, I would have stayed in my hood. I would have built my thing in my hood because you know why? My hood loved me. These are people that know me from the sandbox. They know right from wrong. They're going to stand with you. These somebody you broke bread with. These somebody people you can put in work with. These some of the people that you got names with. These some of the people that named you. These people that know your family. So who gonna hold it down and be more loyal to on the streets and doing things than the people in your community? And then that way, that'll stop people from other neighborhoods or from other cities or from other boroughs conflict being in your community. What I mean by that is this. We from 183rd, but you might have a Mac Ballers up there. You might have this set up here. You might have this set up here. But if we was more neighborhood organized, that would have never been able to happen because everybody would have been under one sound and one bound, which is 1A Trey, and that would have kept a lot of issues out of our community, and that could have maybe even saved a couple of lives that was just lost within the last couple of years with our youth on our block, on 183rd, based on situations with other sets that's not from 183rd, but because we didn't organize 183rd the way we were supposed to, they're repping other hoods, and these other hoods is having beef, and their beef, even though they from other communities, everything is now finding its way in our hood because they're following people from everywhere else, and that trauma is coming over here only because we allowed that, because the hood wasn't organized enough to where we kept 1A Trey and made sure everything was 1A Trey. So anything that come through here, we already know what it is, and we on one sound and one vowel. You know what I mean? So look at it from that perspective. I wish I would have went 1A Trey. You know what I'm saying? It would have been realer. You know what I'm saying? Who to say how it would have been, how it would have turned out. But let me just say before I end this video is that everything happened for a reason, and it was meant to be the way it was meant. So however it happened, it just wasn't meant to be. But you know, that's in my heart. You know, that's where I'm always at. Salute. Thanks for tuning in to Kross TV Network. That's Kross with a K. And be looking out for part 5 of Mel Kross vs. Lacey after this video. Let's get it.